Welcome to Professor SNAB, where we aim to make A-level biology as simple as a cell. So today we will be looking into the structure and function of blood vessels. So it should be a straightforward topic and a short video. So moving on. So now starting off, we're going to look at the functions of the different blood vessels we have in the body. So first up, we have arteries, which transports blood away from the heart, usually at high pressure to the tissues. Then we have arterioles. So these are arteries branch into narrow blood vessels called arterioles, which transport blood into capillaries. And then we have veins, which transport blood to the heart, usually at low pressure. And finally, we have capillaries, which are microscopic blood vessels that carry blood to the cells. So another point I just wanted to quickly add is veins can then further divide into something called venules as well. So it's similar to what arterioles do. So I mean, over here, if you look, arterioles they um, transfer blood into capillaries, but what venules do, it's the same idea but the opposite. So they transport blood away from the tissues back into the veins so that it can be transported back into the heart. So that's like a quick point I wanted to add. So now looking deeper into arteries. So arteries, they contain the endothelium, which is one cell thick and lines the lumen of all blood vessels. It is very smooth, which reduces friction for free blood flow. It is heavily folded in arteries to enable it to expand under high pressure. So if you remember from the previous slide, the blood in arteries are pumped at very high pressure, right? So this is kind of the feature that helps maintain that. And then you have the layer of smooth muscles is thick in arteries. This gives strength and helps withstand high pressure. It also enables constriction of the lumen, which is important for controlled blood flow. The elastic tissue maintains blood pressure, which enables stretch and recoil, enabling pulse. So which is why you have the pulse you feel when you place your fingers on your wrist is from the arteries. Arteries have an outer wall made of collagen, which is a strong protein that protects blood vessels. They have a narrowed lumen to maintain the high blood pressure. Once again, all of these features basically add up to the main function, main point of arteries is that the blood is pumped at high pressure. Moving on, now looking at veins. Veins have very low blood pressure. Once again, referencing to the first slide we looked at, as they receive blood via the capillaries. Veins have thinner, smooth muscle and elastic layer. They have a much wider lumen to ensure that blood returns to the heart at the right speed. Because the last thing you want is blood being pumped at very high pressure not pumped, but like blood going back to the heart at very high pressure. So if that happens, your heart's just going to damage, and you don't want that. And that's why you have a wider lumen to make sure that the blood pressure is low, so that your heart is still safe. It isn't damaged. So a large lumen is beneficial as it reduces friction between blood and the endothelium. Veins have walls which prevent backflow of blood, and veins do not have a pulse. So once again, the pulse you feel when you place your two fingers on your wrist, that's from the arteries, not the veins. The veins do not have a pulse. Now next, looking at capillaries. Capillaries have thin walls. This allows substances to diffuse out from the blood into the body's tissues and vice versa. A network of capillaries form capillary beds, which are very important exchange surfaces within the circulatory system. A large network of capillaries enable faster diffusion of substances as the diffusion distance is shorter. Capillaries have a very narrow lumen. Has a very narrow lumen. As a result, red blood cells need to pass through the capillaries in a single file. This forces the blood to travel slowly, which provides more time for diffusion to occur. The wall of a capillary is a single layer of endothelial cells. Once again, similar to arteries and veins, they have endothelial cells or endothelium. Being a single layer reduces the diffusion distance further. The cells of the wall have gaps called pores, which allow blood plasma to leak out and form tissue fluid. White blood cells can combat infection in affected tissues by squeezing through the pores in the capillary wall.